indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the March 18th, 2019 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently have the honor of serving as chair of the commission and represent District 3 alongside Commissioner Bill Rippon, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Welcome, everyone. Morning. Good morning. First item of business, please.
First items under proclamations, presentation of the results of the Shawnee County Project Topeka fundraiser to Don Woodward.
And today it's actually to Amber Mertel, who's the vice president. My name is Kim Phillips. I work here in the Shawnee County Commission office, and I am proud to say that this year's 2019 Project Topeka fundraiser is complete. Let me get a slideshow from the beginning. Okay. All right, so here in the county, and within the courthouse, we have both county employees all over the county and courthouse employees who gathered, who pulled together and had department events, gave individual donations, donated to the auctions, bid on the auction items, had food donations, and participated in the sculpture contest. Okay. Individual departments had all sorts of sales. IT had a donut sale, raised $125. A retired employee, Jeannie Wyrick, sold cotton candy in the halls, gave a beautiful perfume to the whole building that way for $181 worth. Public Works Department had a wonderful basket. They took had raffle tickets on that contributed $232. There was a Valentine's bake sale from Audit Finance, Human Resources, Register of Deeds. They made $458. The county clerk's office had a contest to guess the number of M&Ms in the jars. They made 78. The sheriff's office, they had a big pull this year. They had a reserved parking spot right outside the county courthouse. They sold popcorn, they had a chili sale, they had bake sales, and they had a haircut challenge. Captain Hubler agreed to put his hair on the chopping block if you pledged to Project Topeka. And he did, in fact, have his hair shaved and is looking sleek for the summer. Okay, the Department of Corrections, they again sold their cinnamon rolls. If you've never had them, you are missing out. They are the size of your head, and a very good bargain at $10 for a dozen. They also had a luncheon. Okay, they made over $3,000 between their two big events. Okay, so overall for individuals and department donations, the Department of Corrections, of course, did $3,000. Mr. Steve Atkinson, again, donated $2,500 just from pocket. I don't think I mentioned the sheriff's office donation was $2,312, including their online donations for that. Other bake sales, all listed there, okay? Some of them we didn't have pictures of. There was a biscuit breakfast at the community corrections for $52. The treasurer's office had employee donations, elections office. So individual donations was $9,393 between the department fundraisers and the individuals. Then we had our auction, which went very well. There were businesses that donated to the auction items, all in the first column there. There were individuals who just brought in items for the auction, and departments brought in baskets for the most part for the auction. The sheriff's office had 67 items that they contributed just to the auction, okay, out of 158. Okay, so with the auction, the enthusiastic employees gave us an auction total this year of $3,299. A total of $931 was just from the sheriff's office items. That's included in that 3,000, well, 3,300 almost total. Special thank you to Stephanie Colbin, who runs the IT auction website, and she tracked all bids and got pictures of all the bids and everything. Couldn't have, I mean, it was pivotal to her. Then we also had a food drive, okay? Food donated by employees was 1,069 pounds, and much of that food contribution was a result of a sculpture contest run by the health department and headed up this year by Sarah Grendel. There you are. Okay. And it was actually judged by Commissioner Rippon, Sean Wheat, and I left my notes at home, James Ryan from the media. Okay. There were only 3 entries this year, but this was in the small category. There was the district attorney's office, who contributed to Winter is Coming, a play on, Game of Thrones, and the Parks and Rec office that had a contribution with Buzzing with Activities. Their sculptures had to be 78% of food, and then they could decorate them as they did. And I'll let Sarah come up and give the small category award. Okay, which one's which? Okay, which one? This in small?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was to, who was the winner of that?
Shawnee County Parks and Rec.
Shawnee County Parks and Rec. We can hold on to that for a year and try to keep hold of it. Okay. And then there was only 1 entry, however, it was definitely worthy of a trophy, and it was from the health department. It was Let's Take a Bite Out of Hunger, and it was a cheeseburger. I love the beans on the top for the sesame seeds and ketchup and mustard on the side. And so from the health department, are you taking it home? No? Quentin. Next year, we need some challenges to the health department for the big sculpture contest. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so the total donation this year to Project Topeka was 1,069 pounds of food, which is equal to $1,785.20. Okay. And all our cash that was donated through department fundraisers and employee contributions and the employee auction gives us this year, and if I could have Commissioner Archer come up with the check to present to Amber Mertel from Project Topeka. She is the vice president. It is $12,699.16. Right here.
Mm-hmm. How do I call it? There are so many people to thank. Of course, Kim, Stephanie, and all the employees. I think the sheriff's office did a great job with their auction. I personally bought a get-out-of-jail-free card. And I hope I don't need to use it. Perhaps Commissioner Rippon or Cook will. Thank you.
And
thank you so much for doing a good thing for our community, and it is a good thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Whoops. I'll hold that for you. So let me get you out of this, and then you can say a few words about what wonderful things Project Topeka does. Get out of this so the next person can get in. All right.
If you aren't aware, Project Topeka is going into its 33rd year of being a community food drive. We are Shawnee County's original food drive. We rely very heavily on companies and organizations like the Shawnee County offices to do the drives that they do to support our 7 food banks in the Shawnee County area. Without you guys, we would not be able to give them what they need. The Shawnee County Employee Campaign is one of our 4 largest campaigns, so that's pretty impressive what you guys do here with all your various activities. Definitely the most unique with the head shaving this year. I thought that was great. I helped the Shawnee County Sheriff's Office get that on Facebook so that they can engage the community, and we saw donations come through there, plus your guys' offices, and so I thought that was, I don't know if I would have said I'd shave my head, so that was pretty good move there by their office. And what you guys do shows the commitment to Shawnee County and by the Shawnee County employees to our Topeka and county individuals that really need the help. So we definitely appreciate everything that you guys do and continue to do for the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ann. Next item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There were 5 items on the consent agenda.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under bridge project, Brian Olmeyer Construction Company, $28,019.25 is for bridge replacement, Southwest 37th Street over tributary to Shunga Creek. Bettis Asphalt and Construction, Inc., $162,134.93 is for the Southeast 29th Street from I-470 KTA for the Southeast Croco Road. Under county projects, Piping Contractors of Kansas, Inc., $49,738 is for Ag Hall AC replacement unit. Under District Court, BA Designs, $158,693.30 is for furniture for multiple courtrooms from the 2018 encumbrance. Under Information Technology, Computer Information Concepts, Inc., $60,400 is for the CIC TAS annual maintenance. As of March 15th, 2019, total is $2,153,168.28. And I move that we approve the vouchers.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move to approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider approval of request for a project budget of $42,392 and request to use the 2019 contingency funds for the replacement of wind-damaged shade structures at Blaisdell Family Aquatic Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. Before you today is a request to use 2019 contingency funds for wind-damaged shade structure at our Blaisdell Family Aquatic Center. If you recall, last July there was a severe storm that went through and damaged these shade structures. We did submit a claim to the county clerk's office for insurance purposes, but it did not meet the minimum that we needed. And then we contacted Betty Griner and met with her regarding if we could, her recommendation on how to repair these shade structures and what fund to use, and she recommended the contingency fund. And we're here today. I do have Dave Alaker, that's in charge of the project, if you'd have any questions.
Any questions for Randy or Mr. Alaker?
I would move that we approve the project.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Randy. Next item, please.
Item B2, consider approval of request to award bids for the purchase of various chemicals in 2019 for the operation of the Weed and Parks and Recreation Departments, with funding from the operating budgets for Parklands, Horticulture, and Noxious Weeds, and funding from the Golf Earned Income Fund for the Cypress Ridge and Lake Shawnee golf courses.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Deputy Director, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. In December of 2018, this board, our department asked for permission, was given permission to go out for bids for supplies and equipment needed to fund the department or operate the department. As part of that process, we received bids on chemicals and fertilizer for the noxious weed, horticulture, golf, and park ground divisions. We're here today basically to ask your permission to go ahead and move forward with those bid prices and purchase those chemicals. Chemicals will be funded out of our regular operating budgets as well as the golf earned income budget.
I move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Rippon, and that was seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next item, please.
Item B3, consider approval of request for one employee to attend the 2019 Midstate Scamp Conference held in St. Louis, Illinois, March 31st through April 3rd, 2019, with funding of $1,041 from the Earned Income Fund for youth summer camps.
Morning, Commissioners. Olivia Mayer, Parks and Recreation. The request this morning is to send one employee to the Midwest State Camp Conference. This opportunity has been written into the individual's development plan. Our structured plan, each one is developed per employee, and it provides opportunities for individual growth and development. Answer any questions
Questions for
you might
Olivia
have.
this morning.
I'd move for approval. I'll second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you,
Thank you.
Olivia. Next item, please.
Item B4, considered authorization and execution of contract C-124-2019 with Mr. Kenneth Reiblin to continue preferred maintenance methods of haying on 13.0 acres of Family Park with a payment of $20 per acre for a total of $260 to be deposited into the Cypress Ridge Earned Income Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Hammer, Parks and Recreation. This is a contract between us, our department, and Mr. Riblin to continue haying 13 acres out at Family Park, which is adjacent to the north end of the golf course there. It's there at Cypress Ridge. He's been doing some haying there, I think, for some time, but it's not been made formal, so this is just kind of to clean that up.
Questions about the contract?
Is this a one-year contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Others?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, and that was seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B5, consider authorization and execution of contract C-125-2019 with Americrete, Inc. for the construction of trail extensions to the Gage Park Fitness Loop Trail at a cost of $12,727, with funding from grants from the Kansas Department of Wildlife Parks and Tourism and the Sunflower Foundation Trails to Scales.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. Last week, there was a Board of County Commissioners meetings I was just a little bit tardy to, and I guess I missed a comment that everybody really enjoyed that Linda Oakes from the Health Agency brought up about how many people were here. I think we got them outnumbered again back today, though. Parks and Rec is well represented. This, Mike, this contract, John Boyd's here to talk about any kind of details you guys may have on this or detailed questions. This is additions to the Gage Park Trail that the connections and all of those type of things, there's still funds in our budget. The reason we didn't make this a change order is because it's new work. We went out for bid, and you can see the bids right there, and be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Other questions about the contract?
What was the price per square foot of concrete, or was it bid that way?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I don't have the square foot price. I'm going to kind of stall here, see if John Boyd has it, but Americrete was the low bid overall at $12,700.
While he's
Yes.
looking. John, can you talk to us a little bit about the agreement between the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks and how this funding source?
Yes, I can. Also, the other expert on this project is sitting up there at that front of the table up here, so correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Commissioner Rippon. But Wildlife and Parks is the agency that distributes the funds from the National Recreation Trails Grant Program, and that's their participation in this, and I believe it's a 80-20 match on dollars, but also the big partner on this was the Sunflower Health Foundation partnered with us to get the vast majority of this concrete trail put in at non-Shawnee County taxpayers' dollars.
And then, Commissioner?
Yes.
Who did the concrete extension for the first part of the trail?
The Conroy Construction was the company who did that.
And Commissioner Rippon, the amount you're looking for is on the last page.
On the last page.
Here.
$4.45.
Okay. Thank you. I move that we approve then.
Second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B6, consider awarding bid to Topeka Landscape for the Potwin Circles landscape renovations at a cost of $43,000 with funding from excess funding and authorization and execution of contract C-111-2019 for same.
Commissioners, if you recall, last September, we came down with numerous projects that we were going to put into assets that Shawnee County Parks and Rec maintains. One of those is some work that we've been working with the neighborhood over there in Potwin on their landscape, their Potwin Circles. The bid came back low bid came back to Topeka Landscape. We negotiated a contract with them. We'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Commissioner Rippon.
Yes, Commissioner Cook.
Was this under the estimate that we had prepared?
Yes.
Okay. And this was presented to the commission back in September as part of a deferred maintenance?
Correct.
Okay. How is the irrigation part of a deferred maintenance?
Each one of those islands already has a hose bid there. By putting in the irrigation, it is an extension of the irrigation that's already there, and will save us. Right now, when we go to water, we drag hoses all over the area of Potwin to water those things, water the plantings in those islands. With putting the irrigation in, it'll save us enormous amount of staffing time by putting those in, as well as ensure the longevity of the new plantings that we're putting in.
I don't have any other additional questions.
Is there anyone from the public that wants to address this item? Commissioner Rippon?
I just want to say, in the future, when we get these traffic, I know we've been maintaining Potwin Islands as a park for over 100 years now, but I think in the future, if we work with planning part with the city to make sure that we don't end up with these traffic islands in the future, because they're very expensive to take care of. And I'd like to see more of an agreement with the homeowners. A lot of these places would have a homeowners association and take care of these islands rather than strap the county with these expenses. So,
And, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I agree with that, except this was part of the Parks and Rec consolidation.
That's true.
And this came through as part of the Parks and Rec consolidation, is that the county would maintain the Potwin Circles as a park, even though they're still legally still maintained by the city. but it was an agreement that we would maintain them, and so.
I'm not opposed to this
Yeah.
project and the Potwin Islands. I'm just talking about future. I would like to see us stay out of that business.
And I would note that the neighborhood does do contribute money towards the plantings and weeding and upkeep too, so. I'd move for approval.
I will ask some questions first. I think this begins a trend that's not good. Who owns Potwin Circles?
The city of Topeka.
The city of Topeka owns Potwin Circles, and we're maintaining them. We're going to spend over $40,000 on the Potwin Circles.
Yes, and I will defer to the county councilor if stop me if I don't say anything right. But it was clear that the Potwin Circles were to come to Parks and Recreation in the merger agreement. When they sat down to put the titles together and stuff, I think both sides found it easier to leave the ownership in the city of Topeka's hand and us to maintain it as opposed to trying to draw up a deed for each one of those types of
So
things.
we're maintaining property that's owned by the city of Topeka, is what
Yes,
you're saying?
but we're under contract to maintain those.
Okay. We're in the Parks and Recreation business. Is this a park?
No,
Is this a recreation?
no.
It's neither. Okay. Is it decorative or functional?
It's decorative
Okay.
and functional. It performs a function.
Why is it functional?
It's performs a traffic function.
But it's not like playground equipment
Oh, no,
for
no,
people
no,
in East Topeka?
No.
Okay. There are, from what I remember reading, there are 6 full circles, 4 half circles, so about 8 circles in total. And you're proposing to spend over $5,000 for each circle in plantings and irrigation?
Yes.
How about continuing maintenance? Who's going to maintain?
They're under contract. Our contractor maintains we have a.
So we're going to continue to pay for them to be maintained?
Correct.
How does this benefit the community as a whole?
I don't know, I don't really have a good answer for that. It's probably serves the community as a whole even less than some of the smaller neighborhood parks. But we even have neighborhood parks that don't serve the whole community, but this even less than a neighborhood park.
Okay. My neighborhood, we installed a sign, and we have a lot of green space, and we have traffic circles. We pay for that. And we would never ask the city to pay for that. We'd never ask the county to pay for that. We'd never ask taxpayers to pay for that. My constituents who live in Clarion Woods have numerous traffic circles and green space. When will Parks and Rec take care of those?
I don't have an answer for that, Commissioner.
Same with Clarion Lakes. My constituent, are they on the list to have taxpayers fund their green space and their traffic circles?
Oh, not the traffic circles, no, sir.
Okay. I get to the bottom line, and I've lost a lot of sleep thinking about this. I've lost a lot of sleep. I'm worried about it. I'm concerned about it. But the bottom line for me is I could never support spending tax dollars that would solely benefit the residents of a wealthy neighborhood. So I'll vote no.
Commissioner, might I respond?
Absolutely.
It troubles me that we are in this spot today where we are taking this up, given that you as a city council member were part of that negotiating team when that was brought over. Other areas that were also maybe traffic devices include 29th and Topeka Boulevard, and that is not a park. We have the Westboro neighborhood, which we maintain through Parks and Recreation. We have the Potwin area, which we maintain. We have a number of traffic devices that the Parks and Rec Department has identified that probably should not have been part of the Parks and Rec consolidation. But unless we are in a point where we're going to start dismantling the Parks and Rec consolidation and unbundling that as to what the responsibilities are, I think that if we don't continue to maintain it, we could potentially be in breach of our contract. Now, that is extreme, but we have to look at what is the benefit of these pot-wind circles. They are a high tourist destination for the neighborhood, for the town, for the city, for the community. When you look at the amount of traffic, it is bumper to bumper throughout the fall, spring, and winter, as we have the people coming through. And I think that Commissioner Rippon is familiar with that, having worked over at Old Prairie Town and the impact that that Potwin neighborhood has with the people that are attending Old Prairie Town. But the bottom line is, this was part of our Parks and Rec consolidation. This was presented to us back in September. We did commission the Parks and Rec Department to go out for bid on it. It was presented to us as one of the items as a project, and it was approved for the commission at that time without any objection to go out to bid on this, knowing that the bid would be approximately $43,000, and it is under that bid. And so I would, again, move that this is part of that plan, and it was previously presented to us, and it should be approved. And I can renew my motion for approval.
And I appreciate that. It was on a long list of projects, and we didn't have a number involved with it, Commissioner Cook. Frankly, that's your neighborhood, and I would think you would have a conflict of interest in voting to spend the money in that neighborhood. Do you agree?
I don't think so. I think that we are commissioners to represent the entire county, not a specific area. It does not benefit me directly in any way, shape, or form, and it is not a conflict. I don't serve on any board or organization for the neighborhood association or for the neighborhood itself, so I don't see the conflict. In the same manner, if we were to say that, you live closer to the family park, do you have a conflict in seeing improvements for family park?
No, that's for the community. That's not to enhance my neighborhood.
So,
Commissioner Rippon.
Yeah. We have maintained that area as a park for 100 years. And I know there's aesthetic value to it, and I know that more than probably just that neighborhood gets some enjoyment out of that with their Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations, etc. I question though whether this project should be funded as a maintenance, deferred maintenance. I think there's a big difference between a hose bib and an irrigation system. So I really question if that's the right type of funding for a project like this. I don't know. It seems new to me. But
I had questioned the same thing. It seemed like, to me, it was an upgrade of watering systems. It was all new plantings. And I questioned whether it would fit under the term of deferred maintenance. And I questioned that also. So what's your pleasure? I know this is a difficult item for all of us, I think.
I'm going to go ahead and approve this.
Okay.
But I have some reservations. And like I said, I don't want to see us get into this situation in the future. I know and I'm doing this only because of our legacy of we've taken care of these islands for years, over 100 years, and Parks and Rec. But I just don't want to see us get in this situation again. And I know, like Clarion, they have an agreement with a homeowners association. They take care of their own, and I think we need to do that. Make sure that happens in the future, so we don't get harnessed with these kind of.
Well, if another neighborhood comes to us, I don't know how we justify turning them down, to be honest with you.
Well, and that's
this is a precedent in my view.
Commissioner Rippon, is that a second to Commissioner Cook's motion?
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
I guess that's a second.
Huh?
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 2-1. Commissioner Archer dissents. Next item.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Item C, corrections. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contracts C-126-2019 through C-128-2019 with Wyandotte County, the Kansas Department of Corrections, and the Kansas Juvenile Correctional Complex for the temporary housing of prisoners and juvenile offenders in the event of an emergency situation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is just a continuation of contracts and memorandums of agreements that we're updating throughout our agency and our local partners and regional partners regarding our continuity of operation planning, COOP initiative. This is just part of our accreditation that we have memorandums of agreement and understanding for emergency situations for the housing and care for individuals or those who are offenders in case of an emergency, in case something happens at the Department of Corrections, and we work with that partner too at their agency as well. There is no cost associated with unless somebody was there for a long period of stay, but at that point we've never had to use these, knock on wood, but I have met with Jim Crowell in their office regarding this and have worked with the legal teams through the other agencies, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Mr. Cole?
Yep.
I'll move to approve the contracts.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Thank you.
You, Brian. Next item.
Item D, appraiser. Number 1, consider out-of-state travel for 2 GIS staff members to attend the ESRI user conference at an estimated cost of $2,500 for travel and lodging.
Good morning, Commissioner. Steve Bauman, County Appraiser. If this request is approved, our GIS department will be given a presentation on some of their innovative work they've done for our office at this national conference. I think it's a great opportunity for them to not only get education, but also network with other GIS professionals and help keep current with best practices. So the registration for the conference is free, so we will only be on the hook for travel. And the cost of this travel is cheaper than a one-day Esri class. They're quite expensive. We do have sufficient funds in our budget to take care of this, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Bauman?
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Steve. Next item, please.
Item E, Sheriff's Office. Number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence regarding annual maintenance, contract C-129-2019, for the Internet access to Guardian tracking employee documentation early intervention system software in the amount of $1,763 from the 2019 budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Major Jason Mecca, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. Guardian tracking is a digital record-keeping database. We've been using Guardian tracking for about 8 years now, and we like its services. We'd like to continue doing so.
Questions for Major Smeka? Motion.
I'll move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item F, Facilities Maintenance. Number 1, consider approval of request to award bid for 2 concrete portable tornado shelters at the Shawnee County North Annex at a total cost of $88,100, with solid waste funding of up to $44,050 and capital outlay funds for the remainder.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. An update on the cost split on that. The Solid Waste Department, based on the staffing that they have at the North Annex of 97 people, would be 61% of the staff, and solid waste then would be paying $53,741 of that $88,100 based on the occupancy that could go into those shelters. The 158 people total at the North Annex, these two shelters, if it was fully occupied at 100% of staff, would give 3 square foot per person in those shelters. They'd be in there a little bit like sardines, but hopefully only for a few minutes for an F5 tornado to pass. And these shelters are rated for F5 tornado by the Texas Tech Wind Science Division, and they're FEMA-rated shelters. Answer any of the questions you might have regarding these.
Questions for Bill?
Are these like concrete construction or?
They're a concrete mobile home, pretty much is what they are. 10 by 24 foot chunk of reinforced concrete with steel doors and steel shrouds that they're manufactured in Wichita, put on a flatbed truck, brought to your site, lifted off by a crane, and set onto the spot that you need them. They're pretty fancy little shelter.
It just seemed portable and tornado shelter didn't go together.
Or mobile home.
Or mobile home.
But they're also engineered so that they won't tip over even in 250 mile an hour plus winds.
Perfect.
I move that we approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-130-2019, change order number 2 to contract C-198-2018 with McElroy's, Inc. for replacement of the Expo Center's land and arena hot water circulating pump in the amount of $12,899.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Kroll, Facilities Maintenance Director. This is on the agenda to get approval for the change order. McElroy's put the new boiler system in, and as they put the new boiler system in at Land and Arena, it was discovered that one of the pumps that serves the arena level had failed, and this replaced that pump in conjunction with the Expo Center project. Happy to answer any questions you might have on it.
Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I just want to clarify that this was not part of the Expo renovation, so it will not be paid out of that. It will be paid out of the Expo Center's capital outlay fund.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next item, please.
Item G, Administrative Services, number 1, financial report as of January 31st, 2019.
Good morning, Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I am here today with our January 31st financial update. And since this is the first financial overview of the year, I will go through a little more thoroughly. I guess it helps if you turn it on. There we go. Okay, I will start with this, just talking about that this is a snapshot view as of January 31st of 2019. As I go through these, I have 3 different numbers that will be displayed. It's the year-to-date number for 2019, the budget number year-to-date for 2019, and then the 2018 number for that same year-to-date period. And since we have a new commissioner and for the public, just to let you know how I come up with this budget number for the revenue and the expenses, as you all know, our revenue and expenditures are not flat throughout each month. So what I do is I look at the prior years and how the revenue or the expenditure was spread throughout that period of time. They're not the same for revenue and for expenditures. That's why I go over the revenues separately from the expenditures and always comparing it to the budget, because otherwise it wouldn't be a fair number or a fair comparison of where we really are for the year. And I will start out here on the revenue side. Through the end of January, we had received $46,302,500 $46,546. Now that's compared to my estimated budget of $46,353,783. So we are just $51,000 under budget. So, you know, when you're looking at a $108 million budget, that is right on budget. This chart here shows the different categories. Property taxes is in the large category in the blue. Then we have other taxes, charges for services, and other revenue. And I'll go through each of those individually. But this chart kind of shows you how they compare to each other. Okay, our first category is property tax revenue. Through the end of January, we had received $43,282,125. That is compared to our budget of $43,157,977. As you can see, this is a perfect example of where our revenues do not come in evenly throughout the year. We have 2 large months for our property tax revenue. The property taxes that the individuals pay in December, which is generally the first half of the year, those are distributed out to all of the taxing entities, including Shawnee County, in January. So this distribution is the largest of the year. It includes everyone that paid the first half of their taxes, and then some people choose to pay a whole year's of tax in that first payment. So this is our largest distribution for the year, and as you can see, we received $43 million. We have estimated to receive $80.6 million for the year in this category. This is the property taxes, including delinquent taxes. It also is after NRA rebates are paid, and for the year, we estimate those NRA rebates for the county's portion at about $1 million. So we have received 54% of the estimated property tax for the year in the month of January. We also, our next biggest distribution is in June because the second half taxes are due in May. But then we also have some small distributions throughout the year in March, September, in October, and then in December. I didn't mention, we are, this is $124,000 over what I had budgeted for this month, which is 1/6 of 1%. So just very close. We're right on budget for that. The next category is other taxes. This totals $2,343,004. That is $32,000 over estimated, so they're again right on budget. This includes personal property tax, motor vehicle tax, truck tax, those kind of items. The next is charges for services. We've received $526,381. This category is actually $226,000 under what was budgeted, and I think we have discovered in reviewing it that Parks and Rec overestimated their revenue for 2019. So we will probably see this continuing through the year. And our last revenue category is other revenue. We received $151,035, and that's $18,000 over what was estimated, so right on budget there also. So this pie chart just shows the percentages from each of these categories. And through the end of January, 94% of our revenue was from property taxes, 5% was for other taxes, 1% from charges for services, and then the other revenue was under 1%. Any questions on the revenue? Okay, let me go on to the expenditure side. We have paid out, excuse me, paid out and encumbered through the end of January, $12,500,916. That is compared to the budget of $12,712,148. Again, I look at prior year expenditures and look how they're spread out through the year, and that's how I determine these budgeted numbers for each month. As you all know, that some of our largest months are in the summer, when with Parks and Rec and with Public Works. Those are some of our largest months for expenditures. And for the month of January, there again, with the $108 million budget, spending $12.5 million, we have spent 11% of our budget in the month of January compared to revenue, which was 54%. So there again, you can't really look at the net of the two because that would not be a meaningful number. This again shows the different categories. The bottom category there is law enforcement. The red one is Parks plus Rec and Expo Center. The green is Public Works. Purple is Public Health, and then the top one is Administrative Services. Our first of those categories is law enforcement expenditures. We spent in January $4,242,397. That is compared to a budget of $4,353,469. So we are $111 under budget in this category, and that's spread through all of the departments. The next is Parks plus Rec and Expo Center. In January, we spent and encumbered $2,114,407. And that is $58,000 under budget. Public Works, we spent $1,310,650. And this is talking, all of these numbers are for the general fund only. So these numbers for Public Works does not include any money spent from sales tax money or from the federal exchange program. The next category is Public Health. We've spent $1,947,557. That is $2,800 under budget. You will notice it's $97,000 less than last year, and that is because of our contract with Grace Med that we are paying them less each year. The next category is Administrative Services, where we spent $2,885,906, and that is right on budget as well. And our other category is debt service, and we did not have any debt service paid in January. So we go to this, shows all the different categories, and this chart, as well as the next pie chart, really shows that the majority of our expenditures go out for law enforcement. This is the pie chart that shows 34% of our expenditures were in the area of law enforcement. Parks plus Rec and Expo was 17%. Public Works was 10%. Public Health was 16%. And Admin Services was 23%. So I will be happy to answer any questions.
Other questions for Betty?
No.
No.
Okay.
Thank you very
much.
You. Next item, please.
Item H, Commission, number 1, consider approval of request to fill a soon-to-be vacated position of an office assistant in the Commission office at an approximate salary, including benefits, of $45,392.33.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item I, Human Resources. Number 1, consider approval to advertise and fill a soon-to-be vacated position of Human Resource Specialist 2 at a salary including benefits of $55,272.74, and fill any positions that may become vacant as a result of filling this one.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. Janice Penry has accepted a promotion and will be going to the Health Department. While we're sad to lose her in Human Resources, we are happy that Shawnee County offers opportunities for people to grow in their career. We'd ask that you allow us to fill this position and to fill any vacancies that become available due to filling this one.
Questions for Angela?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for department heads, any member of the public, to address the commission.
Well, Angela Lewis with Human Resources again. We have launched our mobile wallet in Shawnee County. A few months ago, I came to the commission and asked for funding for mobile wallet. We got that, and mobile wallet is now here. Last week, we sent out an email to all of our county employees, letting them know how to download mobile wallet. It looks like this, what we have up on the screen. You would just click on one of the squares and it will show you all of our health benefits, give you the phone number, as well as any claims information and how to get in contact with it. There are also squares for human resources, which includes all of our documents for our union contracts and our employee handbook. We also have one for IT and any other resource you might need with the county. So we thank you for allowing us to do this for our employees.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Any questions on it?
Nope.
Thank you.
I guess not. Thank you, Angela.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Major Smeka, Sheriff's Office. Just wanted to let you know that the Sheriff's Office is accepting applications for the Summer Youth Academy. This will be our 14th year that we've offered this camp to incoming 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We are at 3 different locations this summer. Beginning the first week in June, we're going to be at Seaman High School, and then the following week, Shawnee Heights High School, and then lastly, the 3rd week in June will be Washburn Rural High School. So we look forward. It's just another great way to connect with the youth in our community, and we're happy to do it, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for the Major? Thank you for being here today.
Morning again, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. Want to take a minute to introduce our new Park Operations Director, Jeremy Myers. Jeremy has 18 years of experience in the Parks and Recreation field. We stole him from Holland, Michigan, and we're really excited to have him here and looking forward to him joining our team.
Commissioners, thank you for having me. Jeremy Myers, Parks and Recreation. I am excited to be here. More importantly, my family is excited to be here as well, as my wife is from Kansas, and this is a perfect opportunity to relocate and a wonderful job to have accepted. For the last 2 weeks, I've been working and getting to know our Parks and Recreation staff, our operations staff, and just a wonderful group of people, hardworking, very passionate about their work that they do on a daily basis to make the parks beautiful and enjoyable and safe for everybody that comes through Shawnee County Parks, and just excited to be here again. And we are looking for more staff, so there's my plug to get people to apply for jobs with Parks and Recreation. So thank you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't see any. Welcome aboard, Jeremy. We're really happy you're here.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Commissioner Cook?
I have nothing.
Commissioner Rippon?
Well, yes. I had an opportunity to give the welcome address to the USA Wrestling Kids Tournament. It was at state championship for Kansas. That opening ceremony, there were like 8,000 people in the arena. All the seats were full, and the whole floor area was full. And there was over 1,700 participants in that tournament. This equates to over $2.5 million in economic impact for this area. And it's a huge event. And they also had opened up a girls division this year, and I think they were expecting 50 or 60. I think they had over 200, so that's taking off as well. So, but it was a great event, and they were there for 2 days, and it's a good, like I say, a good event.
Outstanding. I don't have anything else. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need. We're officially adjourned.